Hey everybody, I'm Elise Wong and today I'm going to share with you a time-lapse video along with commentary on how I did this forest unicorn. This is my first diorama. I always wanted to do dioramas, but I don't know, thinking of a scene is pretty hard. I mean, I've done bases for miniatures and I find that really interesting. So I got this horse sculpture and I thought that it would actually look really good as a forest unicorn. And then it just kind of progressed from there, and I hope you guys enjoy.
The initial figurine is hollow and it had a mane. And I didn't want the mane because I decided to already use artificial hair for it. And so I sawed it off, but it being hollow, it left a huge hole. So I had to mend it with epoxy putty, or some people like to call green stuff. So I'm using my sculpting tools to help smoothen it. And the eyes also was not clearly defined, so I had to sculpt them myself. I just put epoxy putty on it and I just used the knife to just draw out the eyes. Epoxy putty is like, it comes in two materials that you have to mix together, and when it dries, it becomes really hard. Once I put whatever putty I want, I had to sand it so it looks like it's one with the figurine. It's sandpaper, or I use a filer as well. Next, I'm going to do the unicorn's horn, and I'm using a wire and I fold it into half and twist it around and fold it again once more, and then I will just spread out the wire to make it look like branches. And then I will take the horse and see whether it's the length I like. After that, I just cut the ends to make it look like roots, and then I just hot glue it onto the unicorn's head. Now I am priming the unicorn, before I start painting. Now I'm adding in the shadows, dark gray, to all the places that needs them. And it also helps to define the muscular structure of the horse. Going through with the highlights, which is white. Now I'm doing the eyes. At first, I actually covered it and used spray paint to have that nice, beautiful blend. But that didn't work out because the eyes were just too small and my spray range was actually pretty big. So I scrapped it and eventually I just used a brush to paint it. I go over with white as the base, and then I use light blue, and then I slowly transition to dark blue. And it takes a while because it's pretty difficult for sculpt painting because the acrylic dries really fast and it's very difficult to blend. So it took me a real while to get that nice blending. However, I think if you use a medium retardant, it would probably help with the whole blending thing. Now I'm using PVA glue, or some people like to call white glue. I'm just using a brush and I'm spreading it on the head, and then I just put the artificial hair on top of it. After doing this, it really looks like it's coming to life because the hair looks real. It does give an illusion that it's a real life thing. After doing the mane, I also did the same thing for the tail. Now I'm painting the hooves bronze, just to give it that magical touch, you know. I don't know, unicorns, they have like magical hooves or something. If you noticed before when I was painting the hooves, there was like a cake base. What I did was I actually reused the cake base. Like after eating cake for somebody's birthday, I would actually keep it. And when I need it, I would actually tear the paper out. And then, because it's made out of cork, and cork is one of the great things to use to replicate rocks. So I actually tore the cake base and I made rock slabs as a bed for the unicorn, and I would just lay them on top, and then I would put the horse on top, see if it fits. If it sits nicely, then I will hot glue it onto the base. Now I am doing a tree. This is a branch I found outside my house. I just take a stroll and find whatever dead branches I could use. So I find it kind of nice. In a way, it's kind of reusing stuff. So I am dry brushing it with white paint. Dry brushing is you put paint on your brush, and you go over a piece of cloth to take whatever excess paint out. The remains, you actually just brush it on the piece you have, and this gives a really nice effect as it only paints like the surface of the surface. So it really enhances its features and texture of the thing. After that, I actually spray paint it with dark brown. And after spray painting it, I would actually go over the dry brushing another round, and then I spray paint it one more time. But by spray painting it, it's doesn't really define the light and shadows. So I went over it with a black wash to make the dark parts darker. When all the tree trunks are ready, I actually put leaves on the tree. The leaves are actually an old sponge I use and blend it in an old blender, and I just reuse it. So in a way, I love dioramas because you can use household items. It's not like painting where you have to use A-grade items. Diorama, it's like if you use household items, it also adds to the whole natural effect of it. Now I'm actually using tea leaves. I put some glue on the sponges and I put some tea leaves. I didn't know how this was going to work out. I just wanted to add different colors and different texture to the trees to hopefully make it more realistic. So I'm actually using dried tea leaves. So these are tea leaves that you use it for making a pot of tea, and then after that I just lay it on the newspaper to dry it again, and then I just use it for my dioramas. I think it's kind of cool. It's like, in a way, I guess you could say you're reducing waste and making it into art again. I think it's cool. So after that, I spray green all over the leaves, and I use PVA glue to put in all the moss. These moss I bought it from Craftiviti. My blender doesn't blend too finely, so I can't make moss this fine. So I just wanted to make like the moss are growing on the tree, so I put PVA glue and I just placed some moss on top of it, spread them out randomly on the trunk. After that, I primed the base for the diorama. So now the rock slabs, I am actually dry brushing the rock slabs to really enhance its textures and features. Right now you can actually see it's starting to slowly look like rock slabs, which is kind of cool. For the top, because cake base being so flat and so smooth, I actually use coffee grinds and glue it on top to give that, the uneven rocky look. And then I dry brush it so it looks uneven, yet at the same time it looks like rocks as well. I'm hot gluing all the branches and rocks on top. I wanted to make the unicorn pop a little more, so I add those little flowers, the yellow and purple, yellow and pink. So it looks a little bit more fantasy-ish, and at the same time it makes it pop a lot more and makes it look very present. I did the same thing for the tail, because you can't have flowers on the mane and not on the tail. So, the tree is gonna be there. When there's tree, there's gonna be dried leaves all over. And the other end, I'm going to put static grass. I'm gonna put a little moss here and there because my idea I had for this was a forest unicorn resting in a mossy forest. So I'm gonna add forest all over the rocks and the trees, and then at the farther edge it will be grass. So I'm gonna put a mixture of fallen leaves and moss and grass to really make the whole scene look as natural as possible. Different types of vegetation, different colors, because when you look at nature, it's not one color, you have yellow, you have green, you have brown, all the natural colors coming together. So those dried flowers they use for perfume for the room? I use that to improvise because I don't have any foliage. So I use that, hot glue it to the diorama to really bring it to life.
Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you have any tips or tricks to share with us, please feel free. I would also love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment. If you are new to my channel, I would love for you to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to keep up to date with my photo stamping needs, you can follow me on the following sites listed down below in the video description. They are Facebook, Blogspot, Google+, and Deviantart. That's all for today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao!